Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 56th episode of Hikaru no Go. And last episode, we finally began our amazing game between the legendary Sai and the legendary Toya Meijin. Spectators have all gathered up. People know this is happening, including Akira. So, yeah, we should get the conclusion of this match, I would imagine, this episode. Although we may extend it further because it's such a big deal. Who knows? But yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes. So let's get into it and see how this goes. 3, 2, 1, play. Kimi no Meni. Dun 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 dun. It's hard to believe that we're getting so close to the end of this anime. But yeah, we're getting there. I am glad a Patreon supporter requested this anime because it has been a show that I want to watch for a long time, but I probably would never have got around to watching it realistically. So I'm glad I was given the push to watch it because it is a very good show. Like definitely, I don't think I talk about the show as a whole very often, but it is a very good anime. Feel very invested in this kid's journey to be an amazing Go player. But anyway. Here we go, back to our game. Terebi anime o miru toki wa heya o akaruku shite chizuki suginai you ni shite mitai. Couldn't read it all the time. Just the music and everything, you really can feel the importance of this match. And the one good thing is that Toei is not going to cheat because it's an online game, for one. And for two, Toei is a better person than that, so. The 56th match, the answer to his Millennium? Okay. I remember correctly, Sai was getting kind of a was at a disadvantage when we left off. And Sai, hype, Sai chesto. Joy, don't be silly. Now, now I have Go on my mind. Yeah, why spend time with a pretty girl when you can just play Go? I just hopes you have fun, you know? I remember that, yeah. Well, I'm not supposed to visit Toya right now, so just don't do that. No visitors. This is what you call ahead. Why can I go in the room? Yeah, he's doing something very important right now. Let's not interrupt. So she does know this was most of the specifics. Obviously wouldn't know the opponent, but... Well, it's a 3-hour long, very important, very intense game. Wouldn't say all, but you'd be surprised about how many. I must check the internet to see who Toy is playing against. You know, I kind of want them to stretch this game like 5 episodes. Scythe is the white player. And he now knows. Man, I love that this game is happening so much. We've been waiting for so long. Huh, that sound. Is he a little bit lost on what to do next? I know it was just a grunt, but you get a lot of meaning from that, oddly enough. Yeah, he's thinking. He's been put to the point where he has to think. That says a lot about Sai's ability if he has to do that. We're not seeing the cool, glowy, spiritual board that's a representation of the internet. You're not seeing that, but I'm sure that's not what you meant. So, Akira, what are you going to be doing? Just going to watch the whole time? Like, go away, Mom. I'm trying to play Go with my friends on the internet. That makes this a big deal. That's a good point. That means you had to have communicated with him in some way. That alone tells you a lot. I didn't even think about that. And that means he knows he has some sort of line to Sai. Probably. I don't know. I don't remember all these Go terms. He really can't underestimate his opponents, so... Of course Akira would know Sai better than anyone else in that room. Sai will put up a fight, I can guarantee that much. Yeah, you could say he's kind of obsessed. Yeah, you scared him off the internet. Hope you're happy, Akira. Yeah, what a great person to have a comeback match with. I wish it show us higher resolution, but it can't be helped. Yeah, you're definitely gonna ask him about that after the game, aren't you? Yeah. I mean, Sai may have actually come there. Although at best, this is just will only lead him to Hikaru, but that alone's a pretty big hint. Yeah, he already knows that he came, so yeah, you have a lot of hints to figure out the truth, Akira. You have a better chance than anyone else in this show to figure out the truth about Sai. Like, you probably couldn't figure out the literal ghost thing, but you could at least figure out that they know each other, like they're close. Sign Hikaru. I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's a good point. He doesn't know how to use email and stuff. Shindo Hikaru. Apparently Akira's not the only one that's hot on the case. Wakajishi-sen. That's still such a hard word to say. Like I'm gonna bite my tongue every time I try. You're getting pretty warm. Getting pretty warm. At the very least, yeah, someone around me is connected to Sai. Yeah, usually you would know a lot about a guy with this much skill. Big question. Again, we haven't got much talking from either of our opponents. He has ideas, but hasn't put them all together quite yet. Just knows there's a deep connection between him and Hikaru. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was such a troll. It was like on a webcam book or something instead of playing the Sai account. That's a good point. Yeah, that means that. Yeah, he should know right now that Hikaru is on a computer somewhere, probably in that area. So that would be where Akira should go, not to his father, but that place where he first saw Hikaru on the computer. That would get him his answer. I mean, you wouldn't be able to trace it unless you, like, own the website they use, but if you could, yeah, again, the IP address would be easy. Unless they have terrible security, you wouldn't figure that out as just a user. But like I said, Akira should know where Hikaru is right now. If he does know that Hikaru is playing for Sai, which I guess he wouldn't know that much, but still, he should go there regardless. He has enough information to know that would be worth trying. The old Shindo. That was the old Sai, really. Because even Sai's gotten better since back then. With the whole modern differences with the Go and stuff. Even Sai's gotten better since then. But I think Akira might be starting to figure it out. But anyway, back to the game. But man, so little has actually happened in this game, yet I feel so excited about it. It's so weird. I mean, the episode in general, not just the game. Just this feeling. Oh. That's Hikaru. But like, he didn't really play against a Hikaru, did he? I mean, I think they did like a very tiny bit in one episode before he ran away. But that didn't really count, did it? That's... Yeah. Squeezing his leg like that, he definitely feels something. Go Sai. Definitely proving he's a worthy opponent for Toya Meijin. Not a lot. Not a lot. This is so great to see. so glued to the match. Looks like such a clean game too. But yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, that is definitely something. I'm not good enough, anywhere near knowledgeable enough about Go to tell who's winning or losing, but so I'll take his word for it. And have we really filled out the board that much? Then yeah, we'll probably finish the game this episode then. Or next episode at the latest. You won't. Sure he does. What will you do? Are you gonna resign or? Okay, Sai is the winner. There we go. Sai won. I got chills. And then the internet all blew up. You guys didn't read ahead in the game like they did, so. Well, Toya's better than all of you, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Yes, he did. Who are you, Sai? But yeah, I'm just so glad I saw you actually finally got to fight somebody on his level. Definitely getting close here, Akira. So, are you satisfied, Sai? You had your match. And you even won it. Should be the best day of your life. Or your current iteration of ghostliness, I mean. Yeah, it definitely sounds like Sai is satisfied. However, that does mean that he's gonna, retire. That is the one downside. So then up Hikaru? Okay. Well, I guess it's a good thing you didn't do that then. But man, Hikaru's gotten better if you notice something like that. Yeah. Hikaru probably is going to end up surpassing Sai in the end if he hasn't already. Wow, that last bit definitely gave me chills. So yeah, definitely an important match. Ugh. Yeah, they definitely did not stretch the match out multiple episodes like I thought they would. I mean, I didn't really think they would. I just said I'd be okay if they did. It's an important distinction, but I thought they would at least stretch it out to next episode. But no, they ended off here with Toya resigning. But apparently, if things went a little bit differently, he could have won. But the fact of the matter is, Sai did end up winning. So people saw that. A lot of people saw that. People are starting to also try to figure out the identity of Sai. Some of them are getting pretty close. You know, Akira, Ogawa. Ogata, I meant to say. I knew that was wrong when I said it. Ogata. Ogawa was from, like, Sinful I think. Still thinking. It's tough around White. You could so take that out of context. But anyway, that was the 56th episode of Hikaru no Go. And we had the conclusion to our amazing legendary match between Toya, Meijin, and Sai. And apparently it really is a legendary match. I mean, with that comment that Simon at the end about living 1,000 years just so we could show Hikaru this game. Pretty big claim. So I guess it just has that much importance, that much impact, influence. But it was an important game because, like I said, a lot of people saw that. A lot of people saw Toya and Sai go at it. Sai already had a bit of reputation from before. Toya Meijin, of course, definitely has a big reputation in the Go community. And people saw straight up Sai being able to battle with him on an even playing field and then winning in the end. That, yeah, Sai's going to be if you thought Sai was talked about a lot before, man, yeah, people are definitely going to be curious and wonder and do some investigation to try to find out the identity of this person. But yeah, you know, the game itself was definitely, you know, it's kind of interesting though, because even though the game itself, I mean, it wasn't super flashy or anything, like it didn't have any, you know, it didn't have a lot of commentary or exaggerated playing moves or yelling or visual metaphors to describe various things, you know, like how the Saki Mahjong anime, sometimes they did it a lot, like you would see lightning or water going over people in the middle of their Mahjong match. Didn't do any of that, of course. The most thing it did was just have a visualization of the glowing board for to represent the internet. That's all they did. But even though it didn't have any of that fancy, flashy stuff, it still was a very impactful game that had you at the edge of your seat just because of how much build-up there's been to it, you know. Emotional build-up. Sai wanted to go up against Toya Meijin for so long. Like, ever since he saw him on TV or whatever, he wanted to go up against him. I don't know how long that's been exactly. But it's been a big thing. We've seen Toya Meijin, how much the show's built him up, you know. We've seen Sai, how much he's been built up as a skilled Go player. And then after so long, they finally face off against each other with so many important people watching and all that. It just, yeah, it was a pretty great game. Even if I don't understand very much about Go, I didn't need to get something out of it. So that's the sign of a good anime when it can do that, you know. But yeah, in the end, I did win, so which I'm glad, because I legitimately thought that we would end up having either a tie, if you can even tie and Go. I think you can. I think that actually was a thing they did before Hikaru at Ghost Lawns or whatever. But yeah, I thought for sure, I was leaning towards Sai losing, you know, so I'm definitely glad that that was not the case. But yeah, Kira, like I said, he's figuring things out. He's like, well, he clearly was prepared for this game beforehand. He doesn't really leave anywhere. Like, he doesn't email people. So how did he meet Sai? He clearly met Sai before the game. Otherwise, they couldn't have arranged it like this. So how did he meet him? Sai must have visited him. Well, who visited him? Hikaru. Well, Hikaru I've always seen as like being the old Sai or whatever. Or the old Hikaru is like Sai. So there's got to be some sort of connection there. Like, Akira's got to be pretty close to figuring out the truth. Obviously, making supernatural leaps is kind of unreasonable to expect something to do. But I'm trying to think, if you discount supernatural elements, what's the most reasonable conclusion for Akira to come to? Like, it would have to be that Hikaru has a split personality, one of which was better at Go than him for a while, and then he eventually caught up to that split personality that he calls Sai. That's kind of the most reasonable assumption you can make in Akira's position without accounting for supernatural stuff. So he may come to that conclusion. Because the only other thing would be that Sai was a friend of his that is just very secretive, but even that doesn't hold up too much because, you know, Hikaru played those games. Like, I guess you could imagine Sai, like, I guess you could imagine that back in the day, Hikaru had like an earpiece that Sai spoke into from a different room to guide him on how to play the game. But that wouldn't work very well either because he wouldn't be able to see the board, so Hikaru would have to say everything out loud, which would be really weird and awkward. So yeah, like, there's really not a lot of options here, so it's going to be hard for Akira to figure out exactly what's going on, but he has the best chance, although Ogata is giving him a run for his money, trying really hard to figure it out as well. But yeah, just great stuff all around. I really like the episode, and I'm not sure where we go from here. I assume Toya Meijin will follow through and retire like he said he would, which would be a big deal, especially if he lets people know that Sai was the reason for that. That can make things even more complicated. A lot more discussion on this topic, but yeah, guess we'll see. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.